Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to talk with you regarding some of the books that I did use during my NP program. If you haven't subscribed as yet to the channel, I would love for you to go ahead and subscribe, like, share, turn the notification bell on, and do all the wonderful things that you normally do on a regular channel. All right. Yes, I'm a new and upcoming, YouTuber or content creator, and I just want your support as we go along. All right. So for the first thing that I will tell you about is the NP notes. So this textbook, or this is a little pocket guide, and I did get it because it was pretty common. You have the RN notes, and it has like a lot of information that you definitely can use on your clinical site, or if you're doing any little research and you need a little bit of information here, it's very handy. So I definitely would recommend you getting this book. So they have different pocket guides for the notes. Here they have the RN, they have critical care, emergency room. So based on what specialty you're in, there is one for you. And as I say, you have the NP notes here, and this had cost probably about $35 or about $40 on Amazon. So you definitely can get that one from Amazon. The next one I did get was the physical examination, and this one was by a bunch of people. Yeah, man. So this one, there is a bigger version to it, but I ended up getting this as well because, as I say, assessment is very important, and not every information you're definitely gonna know or remember. And so this is more of a pocket guide as well. So this is like a little Bible that I do walk with, and you will find it beneficial because later on when you start working as a nurse practitioner, you can have easy access to certain things. So depending on if you don't remember what area you have the different breath sounds in, you can always go ahead and just scan through and find out where. So for example, you need information regarding the abdomen, and just a basic idea of what Crohn's disease is, or ulcerative colitis. You have a section with that. I don't know if you're able to see, and then you'll have the assessment finding or just brief information regarding each diagnosis. So you have differential diagnosis that you'll definitely get information on from this textbook, but it is very helpful if you're interested in something that you can have easy access to as well. The one that I have is this. It's a med list, and this was the 2021 med charts top 200 drugs. I got this also on Amazon. The other day I went online trying to look it up so I can actually get like a affiliate link, and it wasn't available. There are other med charts available, but this specific one is not available to you. I'm not seeing it, so I don't know if they stopped making it or what, but it is pretty. It's like a legal size paper that they put all of this information on. So they put like the most common, medications based off, gastroenterology, neurology, ophthalmology, pulmonary urology, cardiology. So all different systems, they definitely have the medications here, how to pronounce them, and the dose. Like say for example, if they come in like 6.12, or if they come by 25, 50, so depending on the dosage, they have them as well. And if you're able to see, but hopefully. All right, but I found this very helpful during the time, because as I say, when you're a student and you're going out, you might not know all the medications, so this gives you a brief idea of what the medications are, and the dosage that you would normally use. So yeah, it's pretty nice. You can always put it in your white coat, boom, and whenever you're ready, you just pick it out, you get the information, and you're good to go. All right, when it comes on to studying, because I was working in the emergency room a lot of times, sometimes if you do have downtime, or if you're working night shift, you'll have a lot of downtime. So because I was doing night shift for most of my program, I got, not necessarily because of that, but I got this textbook. It's a leak manual. You'll hear everybody talk about the leak manual, and there are other different manuals or other books that persons are using, and everybody find the books that they purchase, or whatever review they did, very beneficial to them. For me, I found the leak manual very interesting. You have the FNP version as well as the AGNP version. I got both of them, and I realized basically the same information except for the adult gerontology. You don't have anything regarding children or persons of ages like 13 and under, because adult gerontology people don't deal with those. So definitely, depending on what area you're in, you get the textbook for that. But for this book, I found it very informative because it has almost all the diagnosis you can think of. You know, even if it's not that common, it is there, and it gives you a brief summary as to, you know, what the information you need to know on those topics. And then as I say, it makes it very simple. So rather than you reading probably like 10 books, you know, it has most of the information here. So it has a guide as to how different exams are going to be setting up. So for example, you're going to do the AANP. It gives you an idea of what to expect, how to answer the questions. ANCC, then it gives you also a guide as to what your questions are looking like and all. So it gives you a brief idea regarding each system. So for example, you need information regarding cardiology, pulmonology, nephrology. It gives you all the common conditions under each, and then it's just very simple. It is very simple. So I would just encourage persons to definitely go ahead and get one of these. If you can see here, you know, so for example, let's go here. Let's say, for example, we're going to be talking about sexually transmitted infection. It gives you HIV acute infection here. Then, you know, just gonorrhea. So it gives you a brief information regarding, and then different risk factors, you know, and who do you screen for those and how you treat it. So you have a lot of information that you definitely can use on the go for preparation for your exam. And as I say, if you're having a busy, you know, work week or anything, this is one of the easiest book you can have with you that will definitely give you a lot of information to the point, and at the same time, you know, you don't have to be walking with multiple books. And then at the back you have a lot of practice questions. There's a lot of practice questions here, and so what I did was just use these practice questions as a guide, because most of the time, you know, not all the questions are going to come back, but if you're able to answer and know what's the rationale behind each answer, then you'll definitely understand, you know, what you're doing. So what I made sure was to do the exam questions, or do the questions here, and then try to answer them and see why the other options are not. And then there's a section where it gives you an explanation regarding the answers. Sorry about the noise. But this book, I did it for like, you know, I did go through the book twice and then go through the questions. And then to top it off, I saw another young lady with the same book, but only it is just like, you know, flashcards. It's questions that you definitely can have on the go. So I never ended up doing all of mine because they're similar questions to the ones in the textbook. So this textbook, you can eventually tear them apart into pieces. So for example, you're working and you want to be a little bit discreet while you're working and doing your questions. You can have each system. They are color coded, and you can go ahead and study them based on the different systems. So for example, this maroon color here is gonna be for you know, ENT cases. If you look at the pink, it's gonna be for endocrine, you know. And then you look at what other color, you have blue, which just gonna give you information regarding health policy and all. So there are a lot of questions, you know, based on different systems and just general information that you definitely need to know. And as I say, you can tear them apart like this, or if you feel like you want to keep your book intact, then you can always keep it like this. But you tear it down because it has a little bit of a perforated area, so it's nice for you to go ahead and tear and study. Okay, so it's easy for you to tear. Yeah, so basically these are just the books that I use. There was the Walden review as well. All right, there was a Walden review as well. I didn't do any subscription or purchase any, you know, review packages, but there are a lot of review packages out there. With the exam, they go ahead and do review of the questions and improve on it. So you're not going to find a lot of questions coming back, or you're not going to find the questions repeating, let's just see. And so there was a young lady who had sent me an email regarding, you know, some of the things that she recalled from her exam, and it was just a lot of information that she received from other persons as well. And then I found the Walden review very informative, because when I was going through, like, so for example, going through the antibiotics, she had a really good way of, you know, trying to remember, and just a lot of tips regarding, you know, what to select when you're doing the exam. So for example, you go into the exam and they would say, okay, then these are the medications, but some of these medications are pretty new. You know, you're not going to choose the ones that are new on the market. You're going to choose the ones that are, like, you know, back when, from older days. So basically she was giving us pointers regarding those, and so I went on YouTube and just kind of looked up a little bit of information on her, and I realized that one person gave a good review of, you know, her package, and it was the same thing. She enjoyed how she explained, and so when she got into the exam, she could she remembered everything. Basically, she studied with, you know, the Walden review course that she did. Another thing was, like, when it comes on to endocrine, you know, system, like in terms of understanding, you know, hyperthyroidism, understanding the heart sounds and all. Yes, so she did a really good job with you remembering. So when I go into the exam, I just try to write down all the different things that, you know, I remember she had said, and try to get those out of the way, so just in case I had any questions. And luckily, a lot of information was on endocrine system, you know, the thyroid. There was a lot of information regarding the heart sounds and all, and antibiotics. So definitely, you know, I found her review, even though I never did an actual review with her, but the pointers from other persons that I got was very beneficial for me. So if you definitely want a copy of, you know, that material, you can go ahead and WhatsApp me and I can send it to you. The number is 469-655-5152. All right. So these are basically the books and the resources I use for my NP program. Not saying that there weren't any other, you know, books or, you know, content that I used during my program. Majority of the resources that I use were from the ones that I showed you here. But feel free to go ahead and leave any, you know, other material that is very informative to you or beneficial to you, so other persons can be aware of it. And in the meantime, you know, I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you learned something. And if you, you know, like the content, please remember to go ahead and subscribe, share, turn the notification bell on, and leave a comment down below. All right, until then, thank you so much for making it the Think Nursing channel, where it's all about nursing, travel, and lifestyle. Until then, bye.